Welcome to this very special edition of the KJ Masterclass Live, the show which ensures that you profit from your time spent here with experts, either through their industry insights, information, or simply learning from them. And today we have Nick Frayter, founder of Frayter Media, six-figure content agency helping executives and athletes. And he's running his thriving agency and now shares his expertise in personal branding, digital marketing, and entrepreneurship to inspire others to pursue uh, and try and make and bold transformative decisions. Welcome to the show, Nick.
Yeah, I appreciate you for having me on. Great to be here.
You are welcome. Welcome to the show, Nick. Welcome to India in this online form. And I'm sure not just in India, but a lot of people across the globe will benefit from what we are going to talk right now. We will learn from you about your digital nomad success blueprint, how others can do what you have done for yourself with lots of hard work. But before this, Nick, let's understand a bit more about your journey, your background, so that people know who they are listening to.
Yeah, so I was born and raised in the U.S. In a town near New York. My family is originally from Latvia, which is where I'm living is where I'm living now. So, Russian language, Russian culture has always been a big part growing up. I graduated college, I got my first job working at a corporate job doing auditing slash consulting work. But I really found that it wasn't for me. So my brother and I decided to make the move out to Cyprus, where we built our business. That's where we started building out our content agency. And then the past few months or so, we've really gotten, a large number of clients that really want their brand built out and are looking to grow their digital footprint. So that has allowed me to move out here to Latvia to continue to build our business.
Absolutely, absolutely. So, Nick, first to understand, I know it is very difficult, but to just make this obvious question, just still to be able to
Mhm.
understand your mind on how it works, was that a easy journey or a difficult one to be a digital nomad?
Yeah, definitely a difficult journey. Definitely the second half. Um, you know, Being a digital nomad is, you know, it's definitely not for everybody. But if that's something you are looking to do, the most important thing I would say is to learn a skill that can be done from anywhere in the world. I know programming was really hot maybe 5, 10 years ago. Um, but now there's so many other skills you could learn, like copywriting, digital marketing. If you can really hone in a skill that can be freelanced and done from anywhere in the world, then I would say that is your best path to being a digital nomad, but it's definitely not easy.
It's not definitely for everyone. And that is where, you answered it correctly. That is where I want to understand from you, firstly, itself, about the digital nomad itself. Is it only a temporary thing? Only because during the great resignation, a lot of people thought, okay, we
Mhm.
can work from anywhere and we will, just build up anything. Is it a temporary thing? Do you think it will go away and only very few people who can actually manage it will be able to do that? How do you see this whole concept of a digital nomad surviving in this, in this very coming future?
Mhm. Yeah, I think humans are people that like to live in groups and communities. So I don't think being a digital nomad, I guess, is for everybody. It can be good for a period of time, maybe when you're young, maybe when you don't have a lot of responsibilities, travel around a little bit, see the world. But for most people, in terms of long term, I think they do want to settle down in one city, even if they do have the option to travel a little bit. It's better to have a home base and then travel than just keep switching your home base every 3 to 6 months.
Absolutely. And that is where let's understand about, how you built it for yourself. Firstly, why did you become a digital nomad? Why did you leave the corporate side of things? You are dealing with corporate, but then moving from corporate life to a
Hmm.
life where, where you had a lot of struggle, but you built an agency, six-figure agency. But so I want to understand that whole blueprint, that success digital nomad success blueprint, so that for those people who want to think about it, or for those who are not very serious about it but think it's a
Hmm.
cake, they will know, okay, it is not an easy job. Just to understand what it is on the ground, how did you build your agency? Firstly, why did you go into becoming a digital nomad itself?
Yeah, so I really found out about the concept of digital nomads in 2021 when I was working in internship in my hometown. I would go to the office every day, but I wouldn't really speak to anybody. I wouldn't really do work that was interactive with other people. So I was like, huh, why can't I just do this from anywhere in the world? And then I stumbled upon a digital nomad podcast that introduced me to this concept of digital nomads, that people that work from anywhere in the world that get to live all these cool experiences, but also do the same work that I'm doing. But I need to come to the office 5 days a week. So I thought, why can't I have that? So as a result, I started studying software development. I was already in my senior year of college and I was majoring in something else, but I started self-learning and self-teaching software development because that was, the surest path to becoming a digital nomad. So fast forward to about a year ago, I was working another job in Dallas, Texas, but I got a job offer in Cyprus, in the country of Cyprus, to become a software developer. And I thought, perfect. I that gives me an opportunity to travel to a new country as well as start my career as a software developer, where I can then transition to becoming a digital nomad. Along with me comes my brother, my older brother, who has a lot of experience in digital marketing. He's managed social media for clients like Mike Tyson, Mark Sanchez, who's a football player, Brendan Schaub, a lot of different famous individuals. So we were both living in Cyprus together. And while I was working my software development job, kind of expanding in that area, my brother was building a digital content agency. And I would come home from my 9 to 5. I would come home at like 7 p.m. because I had to walk 40 minutes one way, 40 minutes back in the Cyprus heat where it's like over 40 degrees Celsius every day. And then I would help him out a little bit. I would build out the website for him. I would do different tasks that he needed just to help him out. And fast forward a few months later, we slowly started partnering with different PR agencies, different clients we found by doing cold outreach, and we were able to pick up, you know, a good number of clients where I was then able to quit my 9 to 5 and then transition full time with my brother right now to Frayter Media.
Right. What were the
Mm.
challenges? What was getting the clients a challenge, or was it fulfilling the needs of the clients a challenge? Because you were just the two of you. How did you
Mhm.
manage those different expectations from different clients? Help us understand a bit about that.
Mhm. Mhm. I think if you're, I think most of the time attracting clients is the hardest part. It's kind of like getting a job. I think when candidates apply, there are so many qualified candidates for one position, but it's actually being the one selected, being the chosen one, marketing yourself in the right way. That's the hard part, and that's what my agency focuses on so much, is really positioning yourself in the best way possible in this digital world, because your digital identity has become your new real identity. So positioning yourself in the right way is very key to being successful in business, and that's what we really focus on. And obviously, we make sure that we have a good product and quality service for our clients, but that just comes down to how much effort are you willing to put in and how much are you willing to hustle. And for my brother and I, that has never been an issue.
Right, right. So you use the word positioning yourself online. Now it's
Hmm.
for your clients also, it's for you also, it's for me also, and so
Hmm.
I don't know whether I'm positioning, or many people, they don't know. They think, okay, it's like posting a video, and they don't know how to position the video. It's like it's done good, it's
Hmm.
fine, but nobody. I want to understand from your expertise for the audiences, what is this called positioning yourself? How do I know what is the best way to position myself? How does a digital nomad know how to position themselves? Because using the word digital nomad, people will think they are not serious. They may be moving and they may not be able to take responsibility for the work.
Hmm. Hmm. I actually want to kind of clarify one thing. This people often think, how do I become a digital nomad? How do I, take a course and become a digital nomad? You don't become a digital nomad. You learn a skill and you become a copywriter, a digital marketer, a software developer that can work remotely. And then naturally you become a digital nomad. It's not like you wake up one day, say, my goal is to become a digital nomad. I will be a digital nomad. There's the career and the money aspect that comes first, and then that allows you to be a digital nomad. As far as positioning yourself, it depends on how you want the world to know you. What do you want the world to know you for? We've worked with CEOs of AI and healthcare companies. So obviously, for their positioning, they want to position themselves as experts in their respective space. And how we do that is we help them stay on top of the latest news in that space. We help them write insightful LinkedIn posts and LinkedIn reels about those topics so that people, when they think of AI or healthcare, they think of those people. So it's what do you want to be known for, and what are you either passionate about or an expert
Okay, okay.
in? Hmm.
Now, in terms of, uh, how do you compete with others? Because on one side, others are also the big agencies, medium size,
Hmm.
freelancers, small agencies. Everyone is competing as you. How do you differentiate uh, your services yourself in terms of getting clients? As you said, it's like finding a new job, and here
Hmm.
it is not job, because that job you will have only one job. Here you have five clients. It means you have to find five new jobs, and then you have to
Hmm.
maintain those jobs and perform to their expectations.
Hmm. Yeah, so a few things I think really separates Frayter Media. One is just the experience that we've had. As I mentioned before, our CEO, my brother, he managed social media for the likes of Mike Tyson, Steven Crowder, who's a political commentator, has millions and millions of followers across platforms, different, other athletes and other CEOs in the U.S. So I think one is very, very rare to find somebody with that type of experience and that's been in all these big productions and social media management. On the other hand, I would say that social media management and brand building is an untapped market or an unserved market nowadays. As I mentioned, your digital footprint is becoming your new identity. And this is a new phenomenon that has appeared the past 5 years, 10 years, I would say. So the amount of quality is the key word. The amount of quality agencies to fulfill those needs for clients has not caught up yet. I've spoken with so many clients that have said, "Oh, I've been looking for something exactly like this, but I've just not been able to find the right agency, the right person to help me out with something like this so far." So I think there's more than enough room for new high quality agencies to enter the market.
Absolutely, absolutely. Now, in terms of digital nomad, using the word digital nomad, it's
Hmm.
almost like a remote work if you use it. Why does
Hmm.
remote work does not sound alien? And a lot of people will ask, why do it's digital nomad is, they will a bit more aware about that particular thing. Remote work is a reality in today's time. How
Hmm.
do we position ourselves? Isn't it better that we position ourselves as someone who is doing remote work rather than using the word digital nomad in our communication with clients and everyone else? What is your suggestion on this, Nick?
Hmm. Yeah, so I would definitely agree with you there that remote work sounds a lot less a lot less cool and different than the term digital nomad. Digital nomad, you think of travel, you think of somebody laying on a beach and working with their laptop, while remote work, you just think of them working at their home office and not needing to travel to the office. But there's a slight difference, I would say. A lot of companies say that the work is remote, but you still have to live in that city or you still are tied down
Okay.
to a specific location, which I think at that point it's better to work in person at the office. For example, I'm somebody that prefers in-person work, in-person collaboration, but I would just like the freedom to choose where that collaboration is. So if I want to move to Riga, Latvia, I think here there's a lot of interesting and cool people to work with. So I would prefer in-person collaboration here. rather than remote work, but be tied down to a city, for example, back in the US.
Absolutely,
Mhm,
absolutely. Now, let me ask you, understand from you these two different things. When people work remotely, or even for their
mhm,
themselves, and or either in terms of digital nomad, there is a
mhm,
lot of freedom, as they say. Whether it is there
mhm,
rare in reality or not, it's a different thing. But in terms of freedom, but in terms of you get that in whatever way, small or big way. But in terms of financial freedom, how
mhm,
do you ensure that? Is it a very difficult thing to achieve? Have you achieved financial freedom, or it took or was it as easy as you thought, or much more difficult than you initially thought it would be? How do you look at success as a digital nomad? How do you look at freedom as a digital nomad? And how do you look at
mhm.
financial freedom as a digital nomad?
Yeah, so the great thing about, I'm not sure how many people know this, but you don't need as much money as you think to become a digital nomad. It depends what countries you're looking at, of course, but if you want to live in, Southern Europe, like the Balkans, or even Eastern Europe, you could live off, 1.5K, 2K a month, while in the US, you would, obviously need to make a lot more than that. So that number is a lot lower than you think. And in terms of myself, it's actually really funny that you say that, because when my brother and I first moved to Cyprus, we thought we made the worst decision of our life. Literally the first day that we came there, we were already looking at plane tickets to go back. We said, what did we get ourselves into? And there were many difficult days. I definitely thought about giving up at some points, but thankfully my brother, our CEO, he's a very uh, persevering person, so he's always kept me on the right track and said, "No, we got this." And if you were to ask me a few months ago if I could make a few $1,000s a month from anywhere in the world just from my laptop doing what I wanted, I would have thought you were crazy. I would have thought that was like me being a billionaire. But after about a month of me having that conversation with my brother and saying that's totally out of reach, we got that through new clients and new business that we were able to attract. So it's a lot closer than you think, and you don't need as much money as you think in terms of starting your journey to becoming a digital nomad.
Absolutely. And so, how do you plan your life? Means in terms of success, because once you are into this whole corporate life, not that
Mm-hmm.
you don't need money now, but once you are there are so many things to look at, either to go ahead than others in terms of promotion, in terms of
Mm-hmm.
big, as you said, the cost of living can be higher. Then you need to
Mm-hmm.
chase that, and to be able to be keep up with that cost of living, you keep on giving that cost from your years of life, rather than how do you look at life now? Do you take it much more calmly now that okay, life is a bit more in control in terms of, and that it's not about just the big bucks, it's also about
Mm-hmm.
living life as the and set the pace as you want for yourself.
Yeah, I mean, it's really about living life on your own terms, which I think most people don't have that luxury, but I've been very grateful and, worked very hard to get here. Because when I was, whenever you work in a corporate job, you can be fired at any moment, at least in the US. And we're seeing that now with all these layoffs happening, people with years and years of experience and people that have been with companies for so long have been getting laid off due to, change advancements in AI, more offshoring that's happening to work to other countries, and freelancers and companies downsizing. So much going on, as well as I think the digital nomad just needs less things. For example, when you live in the US, you need a car, you need insurance on that car, you need gas, you need an apartment. And as your salary increases, maybe you also want to increase your lifestyle. So it's this constant game of my salary increases a little bit, my lifestyle also increases. So it's not about how much money you make at the end of the day, it's about what can you buy with that money and how much money are you saving at the end of the day.
Absolutely. And a lot of, you see, with the new government, new administration coming in, in the US
Mhm.
later today, if I understand. Then this
Mhm.
whole question about immigrants and all. A lot of people who have been there for quite some time. Now they may
Mhm.
have to, we don't know, move out. What is your suggestion if they want to, become remote workers, or in terms of a digital nomad, they go back to their
Mhm.
home country or wherever they want to be, and then continue to do any tips for them that you can think of if in case this works out, this goes that way?
Mhm. You're saying, I guess the immigrants in the U.S. that need to go back to their home country. Any
Yes,
advice for
home,
them?
yes.
Hmm. I mean, I would say leverage your experience being in America. I mean, me as an American, when I was in Cyprus, that would automatically draw attention to me. People would be curious, how, well, why did you move from America to here, or how do you speak Russian so well if you're American? So that's kind of a secret that you can use. If you're an immigrant in America, get as much experience as you can, as much work experience, professional experience in America, and then when you go back to your home country, you already have that advantage that people are automatically drawn to you. So definitely leverage that. And as I mentioned before, try to learn as many in-demand skills as you can, or focus on one in-demand skill that will allow you to work remotely.
Absolutely. Tell us a bit about Frayter Media so that, in terms of people who would want to know more, they can connect, or in terms of, clients, because it's a global world, it's a digital world. Anyone from anywhere may want to, take your help
Mhm.
and be your client. How do they do that?
Yeah, so we build brands for celebrities, CEOs, and executives. We've worked with a wide range of people, from CEOs of healthcare and AI companies that are looking to become thought leaders in their space, start creating content, make sure that they're the go-to people for their industry. We also work a lot in the combat sports space, not only with English-speaking people, but we also have a Spanish speaking podcast that we're working with. We worked with Yoel Romero, who's a Cuban MMA legend. He has his own podcast now that's very big in the Spanish speaking space, as well as Mike Perry. He's starting his own fight organization. He himself is a very famous athlete. So just helping athletes build their voice outside of sports and outside of just the fight game is also something that has been really good for us to see and help people out with.
Right. So, what's the best way for people to, learn more about you, about your company, connect with you to be a client?
Yeah, so you can go to our website, freightermedia.com. There you could see more on our past clients, results we've gotten, testimonials that we have. And then I'm always open to connect on LinkedIn. Nick Frayter is my LinkedIn. You can search me up, or you could find me through Frayter Media's website as well. It has my LinkedIn there. Would be happy to connect.
Wonderful. With this, it's a wrap on this very special edition of the KJ Masterclass Live. Thank you so much indeed for joining us.
Thank you for having me.